Yo, what's going on, guys? And today, Joe Varden of The Athletic said Cam Johnson is a guy that still the Cleveland Cavaliers have an interest in. And why not? This is a guy who would fit perfectly into a Cavaliers team that this year is on pace to, I think they're still on pace to be a 70-plus win team, which is absolutely ridiculous when you look at that. Incredible. And Mitchell's averaging 23 points tonight. Jared Allen, 10, 7 assists from Darius Garland. And the thing that you look right here when we just continue to, nice, I took out my background, but I was trying to take myself out, was that this is a team that's 6 games ahead of the Boston Celtics. We all know that's going to probably be the presumptuous NBA Eastern Conference Finals unless the New York Knicks or somebody shocks the world. But this is a squad that attempts the 5th most 3-point attempts a game, makes the 3rd most 3 points per game, is number 1 in 3-point percentage, number 1 in field goal percentage, but they're actually, and they're 3rd in field goal makes, but they're actually 15th in field goal attempts. And I think this is a team that would, first off, benefit from getting someone who's 6'8", from a rebounding standpoint on offense. Did you know they are the 7th best defensive rebounding team, but the 7th worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA? Yes, that is actually something that they face. And I think for them, if we just go over here and pull up, and I know our boy Max Strus has came back and he is shooting at 38%. He's only averaging 8 points a night. And what, like, my thought is Strus would be the guy that you would trade in this theory. So we're gonna go over here to Spot Rack. It's Spot Track or Spot Rack, right? Or Spot Track or Spot Rack. What do you guys say? I've always wondered. And with the Cavaliers and the Nets both being in the same conference, I don't think there would be like one of those situations where they'd be like, oh, kind of feeling like they were required to do something, because Cam Johnson's making $22 million. And if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're gonna have to do a little bit of finessing, but it's really not as big as you would think. You really just have to find $7.2 million. And you're thinking, where would you find that 7.2? And I would love to think that Isaac Okoro would be included in some sort of deal like this, as Okoro this season, I don't know if you guys are following, he is playing 20 minutes a night, but he started 16, and like he is arguably their best perimeter defender at the point of attack. So that's where it becomes hard to think, would they give somebody up like that? Because you could literally just go Max Strus and Okoro and get yourself Cam Johnson. But I would think you would want to keep Okoro if you're giving up, because you would say that you're fine giving up Strus because you're replacing him with Cam Johnson, who Cam Johnson theoretically on paper would be better. So you're fine giving that up. But where do you fill that salary? Because do you open yourself up to trading Jalen Tyson? And then do you throw in I think they really like Sam Merrill, and Sam Merrill's such a good shooter. And Tristan Thompson's a locker room presence, and still, even if you traded Tristan Thompson, that deal would not go through. Do you get what I'm saying? Because then you'd have to include, for example, Sam Merrill, who isn't expiring. And if you added Sam Merrill, that's the way the deal gets done. So you see, the 2 deals that they would have to do are the Sam Merrill, Tristan Thompson, Jalen Tyson, Max Strus deal, which I think you would then be able to, by including Jalen Tyson, you would say, look, we're giving you guys a guy who was a 1st-round pick this year. He doesn't fit our timeline. So that's basically a 1st-round pick there. And if you guys want, we'll give you a... So this is a pick that's swapped via Utah swap for Cleveland right here. What if they say several second round picks then? And they're just like, here is 4 seconds. And that's like, that would be the deal, I think, if you're trying to keep Isaac Okoro. Now, yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers would then have to convert all 3 of their two-ways into standard contracts and then replenish their two-way contracts. So one would say you're just gutting the roster too much at that point, and it would just make more sense if you just did the deal of Okoro and Strus, and then that way the Nets walk away with 2 players that they can flip in the offseason. They're both young while also gaining assets, and this allows the Cavs to, they're going to be a first team apron, but they actually save $12 million almost on this deal. I mean, my apology. The Nets save $12 million on this deal because of the trade exception and everything involved, while the Cavs actually save $3 million. So the Cavs will be a team that's under the first apron by doing this. And I know the problem with the Nets doing this is the Nets will be a team first apron hard cap while they're rebuilding. So then the next thing comes in. So I'm so sorry for messing up my speak. I mixed that up. The Nets gain 12.3, which actually puts them over the apron. Now, what they have to do is, I believe, if they can include, for example, who's the salary that they would want to dump right here. Would Deron Sharp be someone that would allow Cleveland or the Nets to go under? So if they were to do this deal, I'm trying to see like what's the contract that they can move that would allow them to evade having to pay to be an apron team. Because if you're the Cavs, you really don't want to be an apron team because you're rebuilding, and I think that's the big thing. They could cut a guy and like avoid it that way, but we're just looking at this point. We're just looking at numbers because that's 6. And for example, how much money would they have to? Yeah, this would have to be expanded into a 3-team trade is what we're seeing. Is if they did do the Strus and Okoro, is you start to deal with the problem that we just brought up, was the Nets become an apron team. So I think the other deal then is more logical because the other one doesn't make them an apron team. And let me just make sure of that, because I think now that we look at this, it was, one second, my apology, guys. It was Jalen Tyson and Sam Merrill and Tristan Thompson. And that would then, I'll show you guys back on the screen. Technically, the Nets would be a apron team right here, because, yeah, damn, I guess they are a apron team. And the thing is they're an apron team regardless of the trade, from what I'm understanding. They're like an apron team to begin with. So either trade, they're an apron team, and that's just going to hard cap them there. So that's more, I wouldn't be surprised either of these deals would be expanded into a 3rd team for maybe a salary dump. I think the Nets would be cool with this if the Cavs could find a salary dump, because the Nets are currently an apron team, and I think they would be like, hey, like, if you can also help us shed some salary, like we got Boyan as an expiring, or DeAnthony Milton.